I'm going to try to insert some pictures and videos into this to keep you from getting bored, but for the most part, this is going to be just a conversation. So if you're not into that, I get it, but I'm hoping there might be 6 of you that might enjoy this conversation. So after I posted this video about this death trap I got sitting out front, somebody asked me, what are you gonna do with the stupid truck? And I was, huh? Question confused me. But once I figured out what they meant, I figured this might be a good time to explain my intentions. That being said, sometimes in order to understand where you're at now, you gotta understand how we got here. Unfortunately, I've been accused of over-explaining myself, so I'm gonna try not to do that, but have we met? So around 1984, my dad decided he was tired of making repairs on this 1971 C10 that he had, and he sold it and bought him a brand new 1984 long wheelbase, standard cab, long bed S10. This was his farm truck. And 2 or 3 years later, he figured out that he needed a full-size truck on the farm. So rather than trade this S10 in on a new truck, he let me take over payments on the S10. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but that instantly put me in a category of people that I had no clue even existed. I was officially a mini trucker. As time went on, I did exactly what every teenager does, and I made the modifications I could make within my budget. I was a teenager. There wasn't much of a budget. You end up at the auto parts place buying little stickers to go on the truck, try to make it cool like the trucks in the... Well, there wasn't even any magazines at the time. Wow. Anyway, of course, a sound system is one of the easiest things that you can do to modify your vehicle, so I focused on the stereo. Not long after I bought this truck, it found itself with a tonneau cover, a hole between the bed and the cab, 4 15s, 2 of which were punches, the other 2, M&M Godfathers. You can Google those if you don't know what those are. Well, just like any teenager with a custom vehicle, or a custom-ish vehicle, it was my only vehicle, which meant I had to have that truck to go to work, which means that any modification I make to this truck has to be something that will still allow me to drive it, or something that would be able to be finished in a day so I can take it to work tomorrow. This is a pattern that I saw throughout my entire life as far as vehicles went. Now, we're talking the 80s, so there's not a lot of pictures left over from this truck. I literally have 2 pictures that I'm aware of, and neither one of them are good pictures. The first of these pictures is not long after I got it, after the tonneau cover and 4 15s were installed and tinted windows and all the modifications that a teenager can make. The second picture is right after I wrecked it and had it repaired and then repainted, and by this point the truck had been slammed as low as I could make it go on a teenage budget with a buddy who worked overnights at the local Gulf station. Good times. By the time that picture was taken, those 4 15s done got pulled out and we made room for a pair of Lanzar Pro 18s. Good times. So during this whole time that I'm driving this truck daily, I want to make all these modifications. I want to do a convertible top. I want to do a tilt bed, which I did eventually do, but I did not do that the right way. Now, as a child, I had a love and affection for the Corvette. That's what was on all the posters, the American dream. As a teenager, I can't afford one of those. So I figure, let's incorporate some Corvette styling into my S10. I wanted to put Corvette style tail lights and windshield wipers in this truck, but then again, I gotta drive this to work. I don't know how to do the modification. Do all these super cool things to this truck, but either didn't have the ability, didn't have the know-how, didn't have the tools or the space, and most importantly, did not have another vehicle to drive while I was working on that truck. I had all these great ideas, but couldn't make them happen. So we fast forward to the mid-90s, and I found myself with yet another mini truck. I should point out that this is not the truck that I wanted, but yet again, it's the one I could afford, which I had the same problem. My only vehicle. So I fixed this vehicle up a little at a time. On a Saturday, I'd spend my Saturday doing body work. By the time Monday rolled around, had to take that truck to work. Had better results with this truck because I had a better budget, because I was older, but at the same time still had a family to support, had to drive this truck to work. So then we get to the point that I'm in my upper 40s, and I've kicked myself in the butt every single time I've ever thought about that first S10. Why did you trade it in? Well, it's simple. I was young and stupid. I traded in that S10 for a 91 Nissan Sentra, the biggest automotive mistake I ever made in my life. Yeah. Every time I've ever thought about that truck, I kick myself in the butt. And eventually it just dawned on me, find another one. Start over. It was a simple concept. Do everything you wanted to do back then. The stupid truck was originally gonna be called My Midlife Crisis. My wife eventually renamed that truck about the third time she used the term stupid truck. We have a new name. The stupid truck was originally intended to be a long-term project. It was not something that I have to take to work on Monday, especially since I'm off work on Mondays. So later in life, when the stupid truck came to be, it was supposed to be do everything you wanted to do back then. Do a convertible kit. Of course, it's hard to get a kit now. Besides, I think I'd rather do a full metal convertible for that little bit of challenge. Plus, it's not like I got to drive this truck. Let's do the tail lights. Let's do the windshield wiper modification that I always wanted to do. Let's do all the accents. And then somehow it turned into, hey, let's pull the V6 and throw in an LT1. There's an independent rear suspension on Marketplace? Hey, Joe, would you be willing to go get that for me? There is absolutely no way a body drop can be very difficult. We find ourselves in a position starting over. But the daily DeathTrap, I intend to drive it daily. With that truck, I intend to treat it the same way that so many other people have to, and that's, I gotta get this done in order to drive it to work. And let's be honest, there's a lot of crap on that truck that I never even showed you that's wrong with it. And it's gonna take a lot of time. But if you break them down into small items, we can take care of door pins one day. We can take care of the heater core one day. We can take care of all those things one thing at a time and still be able to drive this truck daily. And that's where a lot of people are at. Whatever they do to their truck, they got to be able to drive it tomorrow. And that's the plan with that. I'll be honest with you. One of the things I would absolutely love to do to that DeathTrap is a Targa top. But apparently they don't sell Targa kits anymore, or at least I haven't been able to find. If you find one, put it in the comments below so I can go get it. I just got off the phone with Airbag It, and apparently they still make convertible kits for the standard cab, but the Targa kit molds have been lost. So I'd love to put a Targa on that, but the only way I can figure out to do it is to do a full metal Targa top. I know a guy that's doing that, and that's gonna take more than a day or two, and that defeats the whole purpose of doing the modifications to that truck. So the plan is for the stupid truck to remain a staple on this channel. The stupid truck takes time between each video because there's probably 2 or 3 weeks worth of work that goes into the truck, creating the content that then gets edited together, and therefore we only get to do one video a month with the stupid truck, and that's if we're lucky. Whereas the Daily Death Trap will be an ongoing video series as well, but because these are shorter items that we're gonna get done so that we can use the truck daily, we'll have more content coming through the channel from the Death Trap. Stupid Truck is not going anywhere. It will continue to be a part of this channel. Hope you stick around. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope I can provide something worth watching. Peace, love, and mini trucks. A lot of editing in this video.